Hello students. In last lecture, we studied dynamics of circular motion. And in that concept, we studied the two forces which are present in any circular motion. First one is the centripetal force and the second force is the centrifugal force. Out of that, centripetal force is necessary for any successful circular motion. In the presence of centripetal force, particle continuously revolve along its circumference by changing the direction of its linear velocity. So to complete circular motion, most required force is the centripetal force. And you have studied what is its direction and what is its magnitude. I will revise for this article only, this lecture only. The direction of centripetal force is along radius towards the center of circle, and its magnitude is mv omega equal to mr omega square equal to mv square upon r. These are the three formulas which gives the magnitude of centripetal force. And this centripetal force is necessary for any circular motion. In the absence of this force, circular motion is not possible. So in today's lecture, we will see the applications of UCM. And in that, first application is vehicle moving along horizontal circular track. This horizontal circular track has both edges at the same level. There is no level width difference between the inner and outer edge of that circular track. And when any vehicle is moving along such horizontal circular track, that time it is performing circular motion. So we will try to find which force is providing centripetal force for the successful completion of that circular motion along horizontal circular road. Initially, we will consider vertical section of the horizontal circular track whose radius is r and center is C. That vertical section can be diagrammatically represented like this. See this clearly. In this diagram, this one is our horizontal circular track whose outer edge and inner edge both are at same level. This one is the vehicle whose center of gravity is located here. These two are the tires of that vehicle, and point C denotes center of circular track, and vehicle is moving, taking turn towards the left on this circular track. So we will see which another physical quantities are involved in this circular motion. Mass of the vehicle, small m. Speed of the vehicle, v. Radius of the circular road, r. Center of circular road, c. And final is the coefficient of friction between the road surface and tires of the vehicle. This diagram can be shown animated diagram like this. You can see this diagram and clear your understanding regarding how the horizontal circular track looks like. In this diagram, car is taking turn towards right along this horizontal circular track because this track, both the edges, outer edge and inner edge, are at same level. That's why it is horizontal circular track, and this track has center at this point. And this circular track has a radius r. And your vehicle is moving with speed v. That time it is performing circular motion. And it is moving towards right, taking turn towards right. That time this vehicle is moving towards right, so it is performing circular motion. As we know, for any circular motion, which force is required? Of course, it is centripetal force. What is the direction? Along radius towards the center of circle. That means for successful completion of the circular motion of this car, centripetal force must act on this car, which is directed towards the center of this rotation. And this centripetal force in this horizontal circular track is provided by frictional force, which is taking place between tires of this car and the road surface. So we got the answer. For successful circular motion of car along the horizontal circular track, centripetal force is provided by frictional force between road surface and tires of the car. Now we will shift to the first diagram, this diagram. In this diagram, forces acting on the vehicle when vehicle is on circular track, horizontal circular track. That time the forces acting on the vehicle, if you can see it clearly, these forces are shown here by three different colors. That means three forces are there. First one, definitely this is the weight of vehicle, which always acts vertically downward. Is the first force acting on the vehicle through CG, it acts vertically downward. Now this is the action exerted by vehicle on the horizontal circular track. Definitely there will be equal and opposite reaction. So this N is the normal reaction exerted by road surface on the car or vehicle. which is directed vertically upward. So we have find the two forces which are acting on the vehicle. Now there is a third force also. That force arises due to friction between the road surface and tires of vehicle. This force is Fs, and this is your third force acting on the vehicle. Frictional force Fs. What is the direction? It is directed towards center of that circular track. This is the direction. Now, if you see the diagram carefully, then you can understand weight of the vehicle is balanced by normal reaction, and frictional force which is directed towards center of that circular track. Definitely that frictional force is providing here centripetal force, and due to that frictional force which is providing centripetal force, your vehicle can successfully take this turn. So we will see few mathematical relations which are arising due to these forces in the next slide. See here. From the figure that we have seen already, normal reaction balances weight of the vehicle. That's why we get this mathematical formula. Normal reaction equal to weight of the vehicle. Next we have seen frictional force provides the necessary centripetal force for circular motion. This gives you second mathematical formula, frictional force equal to mv square upon r, or mr omega square. One more formula is there, mv omega, but I have not written here. This formula is in terms of linear speed. This formula is in terms of angular speed. So these are the two mathematical relations which can be driven from the diagram. Now, dividing equation 2 by equation 1. Equation 2 divided by equation 1 gives us next mathematical formula. Fs upon n equal to mv square upon r upon mg. In the right side of this equation, mass is common in numerator and denominator. That's why mass gets cancelled, so remains only v square upon rg. If you see the equation, left hand side Fs upon n, normal reaction. Right hand side v square upon rg. But for a given circular road, if circular road is the same, then its radius is constant. And for a given vehicle, if given vehicle is same, then its weight will be constant. Means normal reaction is constant. Means in this equation, if road is same, vehicle is same, then normal reaction and radius and g also will constant. Denominator terms are constant. That's why you will get the correct relation between the frictional force and square of the speed of vehicle. What is that relation? You can see frictional force is directly proportional to the square of speed of vehicle. It means that as the speed of vehicle increases, force of friction also increases. But In the 11th standard, we have studied the concept of friction and types of friction also. And in that concept, we have studied that frictional force is a self-adjusting force. Okay? What it means? Frictional force increases, but not forever, up to certain limit only. Frictional force increases. And up to certain maximum limit, it can increase, and then afterwards its value will not increase, its value decreases. That time there is a kinetic friction. So if you increase your driving speed continuously, what will happen? Frictional force will also increase, but not continuously. Up to certain maximum limit, the frictional force will increase. And after that maximum limit, frictional force will not increase, it will decrease. Then, if frictional force decreases, centripetal force decreases, then your vehicle will be not safely driven along the circular track. So first of all, we will see what is the maximum limiting value of the frictional force. Frictional force has certain maximum limiting value, and this value you have studied in the 11th standard. Maximum value of frictional force equal to mu s into n. What is mu s here? Coefficient of static friction between the road surface and tires, and n, normal reaction. Now students, you can see here, if we consider equation 3 and 4, means if the frictional force has maximum value, then driving speed has also maximum value. And if that driving speed is increased beyond that maximum value, frictional force is not increasing. Means the required centripetal force is not increasing according to speed increasing value. So definitely your vehicle is not provided proper centripetal force. And as there is no sufficient centripetal force, the vehicle cannot take circular turn properly. Definitely the vehicle has tendency to move along the tangent to the circular track. So before that, we will consider here only the case of maximum limiting value of frictional force. If the frictional force has maximum limiting value Fs max, for that maximum value of frictional force, the speed of the vehicle has maximum value Vmax. So from equations 4 and 3, in equation 4, you can substitute this maximum value from equation 4 and V equal to Vmax in equation 3. In this equation, you are substituting Fs equal to Fs maximum. That time, this V equal to Vmax. So this equation changes like this. See this. Equation 3 has taken this form. Under what condition? Under the condition is that when the frictional force has certain maximum limiting value Fs maximum, that time speed of the vehicle is also maximum. From this equation, you can change somewhat. See here. V max square upon Rg. If you shift this Rg to the left, then you get R mu s into Rg. And after that, if you take the square root, you get this relation. V max equal to root mu s Rg. What this equation tells us? This equation tells us that this is the maximum possible speed for a vehicle to move on a horizontal unbanked circular road. Unbanked means the road whose outer and inner edges are at same level. And on such unbanked circular road, the maximum possible speed without any danger of accident, the maximum possible speed with which a vehicle can be safely driven along horizontal circular track is given by equation 5. So this is the importance of this equation. So from the first application of circular motion, we are getting the most possible safety speed for a vehicle to be driven along horizontal circular track. If your speed is less than this, maximum possible speed, if the speed of vehicle is less than maximum possible speed, then there is no any danger. Frictional force is sufficient and it will provide the centripetal force. And if your speed of vehicle is greater than this most possible speed, frictional force decreases, centripetal force decreases, and you are not getting proper centripetal force. So, your driving will be not safe. Now, in this discussion, the discussion that we have done for the first application, we have considered the vehicle as a point particle, vehicle as a point mass. But in reality, vehicle is not point mass. It is extended body. So, in reality, we have to consider another forces. If the point mass is there, then all forces will act at the same point, and that forces will get balanced. All forces means three forces are there: weight of the vehicle, normal reaction, frictional force. They are acting at the same point if the vehicle is considered as a point particle. And then the vehicle can be safely driven if it has most possible speed given by equation 5. But in reality, we have to consider following three forces. Which one? The four tires of car and their respective weights we have to consider. Because vehicle is not point particle. Normal reaction also we have to consider. Frictional forces and centripetal forces also we have to consider. So this is the reality. Then what will happen if that vehicle is not point particle? In such case, if vehicle is not point particle, in such case, as the forces are not balanced, which forces are not balanced? Frictional force and centripetal force are not balanced. There may be balancing between weight and normal reaction, but frictional force and centripetal force will not balance. Therefore, if the forces are not balanced, then torque will be produced on that vehicle. And we know the property of torque. Torque acting on body produces purely rotational motion. And due to that torque which is acting on the vehicle will topple. Vehicle will be thrown off. Vehicle will be slide. And there is a danger of accident. So in order to explain toppling of four-wheelers as well as two-wheelers, we will shift to our next slide. See here. In this diagram, we have shown the toppling of four-wheeler. In first diagram A, in this diagram, the vehicle, the forces acting on that vehicle are balanced. In second diagram, the forces are not balanced. That's why one wheel of that vehicle leaves the road surface. And you can clearly see here, this vehicle is now in the state of toppling because torque has started to act on this car. And due to that torque, this car is in tendency to topple, that means to rotate. So, in circular motion, car toppled because frictional force is not balanced by the centripetal force. These two forces are not balanced. That's why torque will act on that car and car gets toppled. What happens to the two-wheeler? Toppling can also happens for the two-wheeler. And we have seen any two-wheeler rider or a racing car you have seen. On that racing track, there are number of sharp turns. And while taking that sharp turns, the bike rider tilts himself so that he can make suitable angle with the vertical or with the horizontal road surface. Why that two-wheeler rider is doing this? That two-wheeler rider, while taking that sharp turns, he tilts himself, leans himself through a suitable angle with horizontal or with the vertical. For what purpose he is tilting himself? When two-wheeler is moving on a circular track, racing track you can see, the rider must keep his bike at a certain inclination to the ground. For what? To avoid the toppling. That means the forces acting on that two-wheeler should be balanced at every stage of that turn. Example, while taking turn, the bike racer tilts himself. You have seen these occasions in number of racing tracks. And one more slide I will present for you to clear the concept for two-wheeler riders which are riding on a sharp circular track. See this. In this picture, you can clearly see number of bike riders are there. We will start from this last one. This bike rider is on a straight road. He has just completed his circular track and is about to move on another circular turn. So he is exactly straight. He is exactly vertical. And he has made 90 angle with the ground surface. But remaining bike riders, this one is about to arrive along this sharp turn. This one. So he has started to lean inward towards the center of the track. So he has made somewhat angle with the vertical or somewhat angle with the horizontal. See this rider, this one. You can clearly see in this diagram, rider has tilts himself for what? To avoid the toppling, so that the forces acting on that bike rider will always remains balanced. And this one, this first rider, you can see very close to the ground surface. So he has made much more angle with the vertical. Why that? Bike riders are making angle with horizontal or with vertical to avoid the toppling. So this is the case. You can understand what is the toppling. Now we will turn towards the second application of circular motion. The name of that application is well of death or wall of death. In Hindi, you can call it as a maut ka kuwa. And this well of death, you sometimes seen in the circus while stuntsmen are doing their stunts in that well of death. Stuntsmen are driving the four-wheelers, two-wheelers inside vertical cylindrical chamber. So vertical cylindrical chamber, and inside that vertical cylindrical chamber, vehicle rider, maybe four-wheeler or maybe two-wheeler, are moving along that vertical walls but in horizontal circular path. So first of all, we will clear what is the well of death with the help of definition as well as with the help of one diagram. So what is the well of death? It is vertical cylindrical wall inside which a stuntman drives car or bike in horizontal circle. Can you imagine? Vertical cylindrical wall, and inside that wall, definitely it is in the circus. Stuntsmen are driving the vehicles but in horizontal circle along that wall. Walls are vertical. How it will be thrilling. Do you want to see the well of death? Yes, I have tried to clear the concept of well of death. See here. In this picture, both the riders are there. This one is the bike rider, two-wheeler. This one is the car rider. How freely they are enjoying. And this one is the vertical wall. Wall is vertical. Remaining these are the spectacles. Enjoying their riding. See here. This one is also circular track. But this is not horizontal circular track. The road surface is vertical. And that road surface had made 90 angle with horizontal. See. And that riders are very close to horizontal. Riders are very close to horizontal. So angle between wall of the death and rider is very close to 90. Means the angle between rider and horizontal is very close to 0. So I will try to clear this concept by giving one more video to explain what is the wheel of death and how four-wheelers and two-wheelers are driving inside the wheel of death. See students, actually performed actions are there. We are showing the video which will clear you what is the wheel of death and how actual riding of car or two-wheelers are taking place inside the wheel of death. So you try to concentrate on the video, and time to time I will stop that video and explain what is happening there. So let us start to see the video. So you can see there are both the riders, four-wheeler rider as well as two-wheeler rider. So first of all, we will try to see the ride of two-wheeler. You can see what is the confidence that rider has. Because that rider has to drive not along the horizontal road. They have to drive along the vertical wall. Can you imagine? Is it possible for a driver to ride on a vertical wall, which is called as a wheel of death? Maut ka kuwa, it is called. See how the stunts they are performing. See here. Students, can you see? Yes, this is not horizontal road. This one is the vertical road. And on that vertical road, he is freely riding by taking his hands from the handle. See, now my question is that at this stage, which forces are acting on him, which are balancing his weight there? Because he is not sliding downward. That we want to clear. The application of circular motion, which is the wheel of death. Why this rider is revolving in horizontal circle without sliding down. See next few clips of the video. Now it's the turn of four-wheeler ride. Enjoy this. See here. You can clearly see the car which is exactly on the vertical wall. But still the tires of that car are properly in contact with the vertical wall. They are not sliding downward. And this one is the driver which is enjoying the drive, right? Can you imagine how this magic takes place? That we will see in this application. We will see next video. See here. See here. Proper view. On vertical wall, four-wheeler can be safely driven. And who decides that safe turning of vehicle on vertical wall? We will definitely find out the answer of this question in this application. Let us see the next video. Yes, he is about to go down on the horizontal surface. Yes, he has completed his riding and now is landing on the horizontal surface. See. Yes, I think you got what I want to say. So, well of death is vertical cylindrical wall inside which a bike rider or car rider can drive in horizontal circles. We will consider such a well of death, and inside the well of death vehicle is driven along horizontal circle without slipping downward. See this diagram. See this diagram. This one is the vertical cylindrical chamber, white color, whose radius is r. And on the vertical walls of that chamber, this is brown color, is the vehicle, maybe car or two-wheeler. And it is moving in horizontal circle, whose radius is r. So which physical quantities are related with this motion? Mass of the vehicle, minimum speed of the vehicle for not to slide down. Means the vehicle must have the minimum speed. Below that speed, vehicle will slide down. And at or greater than that speed, vehicle will continue its horizontal circle without sliding downward. So V is the minimum speed of vehicle for not to slide down. The radius of the well of death and coefficient of friction between the vertical wall and tires of the vehicle. After that, forces acting on the vehicle. Which are the forces which are acting on the vehicle? Can you see? Yes. The forces acting on the vehicles are, I will come to that slide. First one is the weight of vehicle, and it is acting vertically downward. Yes, I want to show this slide for you. I have just come back on the first slide. The forces acting on that vehicle is the weight of that vehicle. Next one, the frictional force. Third one is the normal reaction. And you can see here, normal reaction is towards the center of that circle. The force which is directed towards center of circle is nothing but centripetal force. So for this application, your centripetal force will be provided by normal reaction. And this normal reaction is balancing centrifugal force, which is along radius away from the center. So forces, which forces are acting on that vehicle or bike? Three forces: weight, normal reaction, frictional forces. Out of that, this weight is balanced by frictional force, and definitely normal reaction provides required centripetal force. So this will result into few mathematical expressions. You can see in the next slide. Yes, I will shift to the next slide. Yes, forces acting on the vehicle are, see, weight of vehicle, vertically downward, normal reaction. It is horizontally towards the center of circular path. Why horizontally? Because your road surface is vertical, and this normal reaction is always perpendicular to the road surface. And third one is the frictional force, which is vertically upward. From figure that just we have seen that figure, weight of the vehicle is balanced by the force of static friction. That's why we get this formula, mathematical formula, frictional force equal to weight. And normal reaction provides the necessary centripetal force. So the second mathematical formula, normal reaction equal to centripetal force. If you divide equation 2 by 1, before that, I will try to clear one concept. The force of static friction, this force, equation 1 of static friction, is always has certain maximum value. Beyond that, its value not increases but decreases. Means force of static friction is always less than or equal to certain maximum limiting value, which is equal to mu s into n. This formula is from the 11th standard. That is, frictional force is less than equal to mu s into n. That's why this frictional force you can write mu s into n, and this n is from equation 2. See here, the value of n is mv square upon r or mr omega square. Any one value you can write there. So this frictional force I can write like this. Frictional force is less than equal to mu s into n. N means mv square upon r. And from equation 1, I can write here the value of Fs, which is equal to mg. See this, Fs equal to mg, mu s mv square upon r. In this equation, m is common on both sides. It gets cancelled. And remaining equation g is less than equal to mu s into v square upon r. Or if we try to write v square, then rg upon mu s greater than, rg upon mu s less than equal to v square. Or simply you can say v square greater than equal to rg upon mu s. So what is v? Minimum speed of vehicle can be driven along the vertical wall, not to slide downward. So if you see this equation, you can say that minimum surface speed of vehicle so that it can be driven inside vale of death without slipping. What is that minimum speed? From this equation, you can find the minimum speed by taking the square root on both sides. How you can find this? See here. So minimum safe speed of a vehicle so that it can be driven inside a vale of death without slipping is given by equation 3. V minimum equal to under root Rg upon mu s. So here we have completed second application of circular motion, well or wall of death. You can notice 2 points here. In first application, can you remember? In first application, where vehicle was moving along horizontal circular track. In that first application, centripetal force is required. Can you remember who has provided that centripetal force in first application? Can you remember? Yes, since in first application, frictional force provides the required centripetal force. And in second application, who provides the centripetal force? Can you remember? See, in the second equation it is given. Normal reaction provides the necessary centripetal force for circular motion. So these are the 2 points. Second point I can write here. In second application, normal reaction provides the necessary centripetal force. That should be noticed. That point should be noted down. These are the important, which will help you to clear the concepts. Now, throughout this discussion, in second application, we have discussed by considering vehicle as a point mass. Once again, vehicle as a point mass, car or bike as a point mass, we have discussed. But in reality, it is not the case. Vehicle cannot be considered as a point mass. If you consider vehicle as a point mass, then that minimum surface speed you will get V minimum equal to under root Rg upon Vs. But this is not in reality. Also, during the revolutions, the two-wheeler is in fact inclined at a particular angle to the wall, isn't it? Have you seen the video? Can you remember? Have you seen the picture before the video? The bike rider is inclined at particular angle to the wall. For what? To avoid the toppling. Thus, bike rider never perfectly 90 degree with the horizontal. He cannot remain 90 degree with the horizontal. So this gives us following interpretations. First one is what? See here. If the angle between bike and wall is 90 degree, angle between bike and wall means bike rider is horizontal, wall vertical. This angle 90 degree. Then what happens? Then it imposes lower limit on the turning speed. Second interpretation, if the angle between bike rider and wall is 0 degree, means bike rider is exactly horizontal now. First application, just like this imposes upper limit on the turning speed. And if the angle is greater than 0 or less than 90, the turning speed of vehicle has both the limits, upper limit and lower limit. So this angle, which is in fact banking angle, which takes us to our next application, third application. So with this, we will complete this lecture and we will see in the next lecture, third application of circular motion. Thank you.